I joined the cult Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry out in Redding, California, and I'm sharing the story of how I ended up getting involved in this cult and answering some of the questions that you might want to know. Here's where we left off. I ended up getting prayer from a lady named Heidi Baker. She is a traveling missionary. She said that God was going to heal PTSD that night. After I got prayer, I felt like my PTSD was healed. So obviously this made me want to figure out, what did she believe in? Where was she getting these amazing powers from the Holy Spirit from? And how could I get involved in her sector of Christianity? I went home and Googled and tried to figure out who this lady was, and I found out that she was featured in a documentary called The Finger of God. So me and my family sat down and we ended up watching this documentary, and it is wild. It was made by this man who wanted to see if miracles still happen today. He had heard that some churches were saying that miracles were still happening in today's day and age, just like they did in the Bible. So he ended up going around the world, going to all of these people who said that they were seeing miracles like on a daily basis, and he wanted to see if they were real or was he right to be skeptical. I'm sure it surprises nobody that the conclusion of the documentary is that yes, miracles do exist in today's day and age. So Heidi Baker was in this documentary. He ended up going to like her mission base in Africa. And then another thing that was shown in this documentary was Bethel in Redding, California. During the Bethel part of this documentary, he follows around some students at Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. And while he is following them around, they end up doing these things called treasure hunts, which I can talk about more as I tell you my experiences being a student, because treasure hunts were a very core part of Bethel culture. But essentially what it means is that the students would all get in a circle and they would sit there and pray that God would tell them who they should approach on the streets. Some of the words of knowledge might look like yellow shirt, person with a beard, crutches. You would write down like these physical characteristics of people that God was telling you should go talk to. So once they had their list, they would try and go find their treasure. The documentary made it seem like this was a very positive thing for the city of Redding and that people were appreciating it and that they were making such a difference in their community. So picture me, somebody who just got healed at this conference, and I am 17 years old trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. I was still trying to decide which Christian college I was going to go to. And now I see on the screen that there is this school of people like me around my age out in California, and that they are making such a big difference in the world and they are healing people. And I feel like I want to give back and I want to be a part of this crazy thing that God is doing in the world. So all in 24 hours, I am healed of my PTSD. I watch The Finger of God and I decide that I'm going to move out to Redding, California to become a missionary and bring heaven to earth. In the next video, I'm going to go over the application process. I think the other day I looked and I could still see what questions were on there, and they're pretty crazy. And I'm going to tell you guys about how I had to make a purity plan, and lucky for you, I still have that email and it is so cringy. I can't wait to read it to you guys. So follow for part 3.